Well, UATP is a privately owned network. It's owned by the world's airlines. It's a closed-loop network where airlines act as the issuer instead of a bank. Airlines issue cards generally to corporations to breed loyalty and also to have a direct distribution channel that avoids a higher cost of accepting other cards. So in that sense, UATP is a loyalty tool for airlines, but it also helps them not only lower their cost of sale, but for interline transactions, meaning when one airline's card is used on another airline, they earn a merchant fee. Yeah, well, I think 2011 was a record year, and I think the main driver was the comeback of the corporate traveler. I think fares stabilized. Of course, we had a big recession in 2009, 2010, started to see an improvement, but 2011 is where I think everything came back. The other reason we grew so rapidly is that we added the new issuers, as you said, and the main reason we did that was because we offer them now their own invoicing system free of charge, meaning that they have no upfront investment cost to join the network as an issuer. Mm-hmm. Most airlines in the world are already merchants, but in order to issue your own accounts, you have to be able to bill your customers. It sounds easy for most entities, but since airlines are in the business usually of flying planes, to have their own corporate card scheme takes a little bit more work on their behalf. So we've cut down that work to almost nothing, and it's a resource-free investment, so to speak, from a cash standpoint. They only pay transaction fees when the network is used and when the billing system is used. We think 2012 will be another record year, just because those new issuers will start putting out material volume this year, and then we have a lot more issuers in the queue. So we're on a rapid growth pattern. 13 billion is material, but it's not enough, and as we're a niche product, we just want to be a bigger niche, 30, 40 billion. Well, I do see in some markets that merchants are having more of an influence over how the dynamics of payment are working, particularly costs, obviously. In the US, some of the big merchants, retail merchants, have had a direct effect on pricing with the banks. I think most people know that things like the Durbin Amendment were driven by the big box merchants like Walmart, who wanted to drive down their cost of sale. Mobile boarding passes and things have already come to fruition in the airline industry, and I think the next thing is going to be payment. The problem is there's such different schemes all over the world right now that it's going to be hard to standardize something, particularly in the airline industry, because as we know, travelers are mobile, and what might work in one jurisdiction might not work in another. But we definitely see mobile payment as the next step in the progression in our network and in our industry. So we're going to be pursuing that as the market allows. Payment is part of the distribution cost of running an airline, and that is the last area where airlines can have an effect on their costs. So I think as airlines really start to analyze what works best in their markets from a payment perspective, they'll be more strategic on issuing UATP, but also what other forms of payment they accept. You can't just accept every form of payment and expect to be successful, and I think what airlines really need to do is analyze their true cost of sale from a payment perspective. A lot of airlines have deals with the major card brands and they think they know what their card rate is, but as we all know, depending on the channel and type of product used, the card fees can be very different. And in the airline industry, most airlines used to complain about GDS costs, the distribution costs of the content, which has now been surpassed by payment costs. And as more and more airlines in the industry realize that, I think they'll become more strategic, look for alternative methods of payment for acceptance and things like that, not just standard credit cards.